right? What I was saying, that it's not just about you consuming information, it's about you co-creating it with the people around you. And people come to these events and they connect online to it because not only for the ideas, but for the individuals. How many people have ever met somebody at an event that completely changed your life, right? That's what you do. The connections and the content also. So if you want to learn anything faster, FAST, fast. So think about a subject or a skill you want to learn, and even in the course of this conference, the F stands for forget. Forget. And it's like, oh, why would you, the memory expert, talk about forgetting, right? The reason why is a lot of people, they don't learn faster. What keeps you from learning faster is the idea that you already know it. Does that make sense? A lot of people, when I started training this 25 years ago, I would be in a room with people three times my senior, and they were just like, oh, what am I going to learn from this guy? Here's the thing. As we grow older, we feel like our cup is full. And that cup is full. You have to empty the cup to be able to put something new in. So I would say temporary to learn something faster, temporarily forget what you already know about the subject. Is that fair? The other thing I would forget really quickly, because this is a very advanced group, I would forget about what's going on in your life that's not urgent and important. And it's a little bit easy to say. It's not always easy to be able to apply. But here's what I want to make conscious for you. Because I think self-awareness is a superpower. You knowing yourself is an incredible superpower. I think we can only be really happy when two things come together. When we know ourselves, like our real self, like really who we are. You know, this best self that we have, I call it the superhero you, YOU. It's the best version of ourselves. You know yourself, and then be yourself. Once you know your true self, be it, right? Thank you. Because that's your truth, right? A lot of people, they do goal setting, and they, yes, have SMART goals, right, that are specific and measurable, you know, and that are action-oriented, make them realistic and time-bound. Everyone heard of that? The SMART way of setting goals? But the other way, what I teach people is not just having SMART goals, but having heart goals. And what I mean by that, for H, is this useful for you? So how many people are interested in not only goal setting, but goal getting? Right? Everyone can set a goal when it comes to New Year's resolutions. So they set very SMART goals. But those SMART goals are a little bit left brain and they're a little bit stale, correct? So you need goals that are going to move you. So for me, I use the acronym HEART. The H stands for, and I will go back to this in a moment, going back to FAST. The H stands for healthy. And I don't have to preach this to you because you know, some of you have forgotten more about health than most people will ever learn. But is it healthy in the ecology of your life, right? The E is the goal enduring. Enduring, you know what I mean? Because I think it's important to be able to grow, but invariably to hit goals, you're going to hit obstacles. You're going to hit struggles. And are you setting goals that are enduring in terms of it's going to help you to persist and build some kind of resilience when most people would think that they would quit, right? So that would be the E. The A in heart stands for alluring. And it's subtle, but are you creating goals that are attractive, that are alluring to you, that pull you forward? Like I can't take a rope and push a rope, not very far, but I could pull a rope, right? Like a magnet. So do you have goals that attract you and are alluring to you, that get you up early and keep you up late at night, right? The R in heart stands for relevant. And what I mean by relevant is this. A lot of people set goals, even in school, but they don't see the relevancy to their life. Like you could learn something in school, like trigonometry or whatever you happen to be learning. A lot of students and kids don't learn it well because they don't see how it relates or is relevant to the rest of their life. Is relevancy important to learning? Yes or yes? I make it easy for people, right? Yes, of course, right? So relevancy, is it relevant to your life? Is it relevant to your values? Is it relevant to a problem that you're solving? And finally, the T in heart stands for, you like this, is truth. Is this goal your truth? As opposed to, I see people all the time set goals, and I'm like, that's an interesting goal. Why is that important to you? And when you fundamentally dig down, it's not that important to them. It's important to their parents that they picked up very early on. It's important to one of their peers, or to their boss, or to their, the Joneses next door in their neighborhood. They set goals according to somebody else and not themselves. Does that make sense? All right, so going back to truth is this, going back to forget, You know your life, and what I'm asking you to do is temporarily, besides forgetting what you know about the subject, forget about what's going on that's not urgent and important, being here. Because a lot of people try multitasking. How many people think that you're multitasking all the time, doing more than one thing at a time? Now, in actuality, it's impossible. For activities that require your attention and your thought, it is literally impossible for people to do two activities, intensive thinking at once. People feel like they're doing because they're getting stimulated, but what's actually happening when every time you switch from this activity A to activity B, you lose because there's switching costs. And in order to be able to regain your attention, it takes anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes just to get that flow back. How many people see that? Right? So no more multitasking. All right? So you can't do different things at once. So if you're here and you want to learn, don't be thinking about what's going on outside. Because if 25% of your attention is thinking about the kids, 30% of the attention is thinking about the clients, that only gives you 50% to be present. Does everyone see that? All right, so that's forget. And then the other thing I want you to forget is forget about your limiting beliefs. Temporarily forget about what's possible so you could be open to what's very probable and even borderline impossible. So that's the F. The A is this. The A stands for active. If you want to learn faster, you want to be active. I think one of the biggest challenges with growing up with the education that we all grew up with is it was passive. But here's the thing. Learning is not a spectator sport. Learning is not a spectator sport, right? You can't sit on the bench and kind of mail it in. You have to participate. How many people believe that? That what you put in is what you get out. So the bad news is this. It takes effort. But the good news, it doesn't take as much as you think. But I'm going to tell you the difference that makes the difference in individuals.